Hey, what's up guys, ZG here. I figured if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm gonna teach you guys start to finish how we're gonna go about this whole Pro Tools process. All right, so while Pro Tools is opening up, we're gonna talk about the importance of having your folders laid out properly. I have a ZG audio tab here, and if you see, I've got samples in it. I keep all of my Pro Tools sessions here. If I have audio or certain plugins that I want to keep, like certain parts of them here, I just have I have a specific spot for everything. So keep that in mind when you're setting up all your different folders and whatnot. All right, so it's run through all the plugins. Pro Tools is opening. Once we get open here, I'll show you guys. If you've already worked on something, you'll open up your recent one, or you'll create a new one, which you would name it whatever, tutorial. You would choose where it's going to, or where you're opening from, sorry. You could create from templates. If you've made your own template, or if you like the Pro Tools stock ones, that's where you would do that. Your sample rate is basically, we'll think of it as the amount of definition to our audio. Most interfaces, most common interfaces are 44.1 or 48 kilohertz sample rates. Studios, however, go up to 96K. That basically is doubling your data though. So make sure you keep that in mind. If you go up to a 96 kilohertz interface, your sessions are going to be a lot bigger because that's twice as much data that it's capturing from the audio, if that makes sense. If not, hit me up. We can talk more about it. But so we're gonna go ahead and go to 48K. It's gonna be 24-bit interleaved audio. You're going to choose where you want it to save at, which I already told you I have that documents folder set up under ZG Audio. And you would hit create. I'm gonna go ahead and open this one since we already started one. All right, here. So now the first thing you're gonna wanna do is go to setup, Playback engine. Make sure that your interface is chosen. Make sure it's the right interface. Also, know that your buffer size here, for recording purposes, needs to be low. The lower amount of samples on the buffer size, it's going to be more punctual audio, if that makes sense. If you have a higher sample rate, it's buffering a lot more audio or a lot more processing at one moment. It's going to take longer for it to do that. So if you have your buffer size set at 1,024 samples and you're recording something, the artist or whoever the recording is going to hear they're going to call it a delay in the headphones, but it's not a delay. It's literally just latent audio. So it's taking too long to get through their buffering here in Pro Tools and to get back to them. And so they're not going to be able to record. So for recording purposes, we're going to go to 256, hit OK. So now we'll go up here to track. We'll create a new track. Now it's asking what kind of tracks we want to make. So I do a lot of hip hop stuff, a lot of rap. So I'm going to just kind of assume that we're going to have a beat. So we're going to do a stereo audio track. We'll label this beat. Then we're going to need a couple vocal tracks. So those will be mono. We'll do 2 audio tracks as vocals. We will need probably a reverb track, which you would do a stereo aux track for reverb. We'll label that reverb. And then always you need your master fader at least. So stereo, master fader, create. Now you see we've got the beat track, the vocal, we've got the reverb aux track, and we've got a master fader. So I usually like to make my beat track kind of a lighter blue. My vocals, I'll usually leave this blue, and then the aux tracks automatically are green, so I'll leave those green. Let's see, we want to make sure that the correct inputs are chosen. So if you had a microphone plugged into input 1, you would choose input 1 as your inputs for these tracks. Now, this right here is input monitoring, which basically it's only letting you listen to what's plugged into that input. If you have this on, you will never hear anything else but the actual live input. If you have that off, you're gonna hear what's playing on the track, whatever, you know, track is playing back. If you have record arm on, then when it's paused like this, you will only hear the live input. And then when you're actually playing back, you will hear the actual playback input, the recording, the actual track. So I like to leave record arm on, unless it's annoying that there's, you know, a live input when you're not playing anything, then you turn that off. Yeah, that's basically it though. Appreciate you guys sitting in. Appreciate you guys checking out my videos. Tune in next time where we're gonna talk about the importance of solving a fucking Rubik's Cube.